G'day everybody, what's up? Robett Hollis here, and we are with the one and only Mr. Monty Betham.
What an intro, man.
How are you, bro?
Good, brother. Good, good.
Going well?
Yeah, good. It's the sun's shining, the fog is lifted, so couldn't be happier.
What's going on for this beautiful Friday for you?
Well, just cruising here today. Coming to be here live with you, I had to have a shave because tonight I'm working with a few people down at King in the Ring on Sky TV tonight. So it's kickboxing, 8-man elimination.
So we're going straight into the plugs, so let's go there.
Okay, what's epic? It's going to be epic. Well, it's not a plug, it's just
Where is it?
A bit of privileged work that I do.
Where is it?
ASB Centre, Koi.
Oh, yeah.
Koi Maramara. And Dan Hooker's going to be there. He's one of the guest commentators.
Cool.
Mike Ango.
He just fought the other week, right?
Epic win, man.
That was awesome, mate.
Wicked knee.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Because if there's ever a nice guy in sport, it's Dan Hooker. He does everything well. He trains hard. He's a good student.
Is that the guy from Hamilton?
No.
Who's the guy from Hamilton?
Hamilton.
The other guy at the UFC fight that fought.
Oh, I missed that one.
That was cool too.
Him, but I hear he's going to be the goods as well. But Dan Hooker, everyone knows of him. His following's getting bigger and bigger, and he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, cool, man.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining up, this is going to be the Ask Monty Betham Anything session.
Anything, and hopefully I can answer.
I just got to make sure that hopefully the audio's good. How's what's been going on anyway? You been keeping busy?
Yeah, trying to. The champ's been here for a little while, doing a bit with frontside, as you know, and he's been coming in and joining in with some of my boys down at the gym at Boxing Alley. So having a lot of fun trying to get him in shape. So, but since Tuesday, I got a phone call. Joseph's over there now in Brisbane for the Manny Pacquiao fight versus Horn.
Yep.
Horn's fought on Joseph's card many a time before, so Joe's going over there to support him. I can't wait because I've got a gig over there now. I'm hosting one of the lounges and I get to talk to Robett Duran, Hands of Concrete, amazing man, and Timothy Bradley, Joseph Parker, and some others. So that's going to be epic.
Dude, when do you fly over tonight?
I go over Saturday. I said I'll be there Friday. I'm going Friday, but then I realised I've got to work tonight. So
okay, sweet.
I'll go over Saturday.
You got a good weekend ahead.
Fights awesome
tonight, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
So Guy Rickard, Michael Hollis, what's up? Basically, feel free to comment below and ask any question you would like to Mr. Monty Betham. So ask him anything. Is there any stuff we can't talk about?
Oh, look, if there's a question that I can't ask, I'm sure
I'll jump in on it.
Going around.
Okay, cool. What I wanted to start off with first is because I actually, I just typed into Google Monty Betham, and I found some good stuff. I thought we'd start with this little perler. Can you tell us about this?
That's probably the only bit of footage you can find of me doing that, actually.
Get it?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Anything to drum up the votes.
That's good.
If you can get some votes, do what you can. It's a long time ago now. I think about 9 years ago.
You got moves, man.
You like those?
Dude, that's good.
I got that outfit from your closet, man.
That's actually pretty good.
It's pretty ordinary, but it got better. It got better for the night. I think I got an 8, a couple of 8s and a 7 for that.
That's so good.
That was reasonable. That's the best part, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, mate.
Well,
so let's talk about that for a second.
Is this a stitch up, man?
No, this is good. Literally, that was one of the first. The next one I've got is actually pretty good. I wanted to talk about those. That was so good. Can we talk about Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, we can.
What was it like?
It was fun, man.
It actually looked kind of fun.
It was fun. I got to the final. I wanted to be the last man standing, as your competitive nature does. You kicks in and you want to go as far as you can. But I was up against Timapara George or Clark, and she was amazing. She's Stefano, who's won it years before. But there was one night on the show where I wasn't so happy or excited because you're going live. It's live to the nation, and as you do, that gave me the 1 minute warning. You're out, you're on after the break. So I went away to go step through my steps, and I couldn't step through anything, and I was a little bit troubled,
stressed.
And Nerida was coming over. What's wrong? He goes, I don't know. She goes, well, show me which part you're struggling with. And I said, that's the thing. Nothing was coming out. I was worried.
Or just like locked?
Nothing. I just had a complete blank.
Yeah.
And then they said, you're on in 50 seconds. You're on in 30. You're on after the break. And we were making our way to where we meant to go out. And then I think after that particular dance, the judge goes, you looked as scared as a 2-year-old. And I said, well, there's a good reason why. I didn't tell him there on the night why, but in the book that I wrote, that was why, because I had a mind blank. I wasn't sure what was going to come out, if anything at all. And that was a foxtrot as well. It was a scary moment, but did all right.
That
man.
old foxtrot.
The old foxtrot, man. Haven't busted out since.
Was it weird for you going into something that you knew you weren't epic at, but knowing that because your competitive nature about winning, even though it wasn't like amazing in their standards, you were going to dominate? Like, did you have the mindset of you're already going to kill it going in?
I've always had the mindset of hard work beats talent when talent won't work hard.
Yes.
That's been a key philosophy of mine, and I know if I work hard, that I can make it happen. And thankfully in that moment, because I worked so hard, it was muscle memory that came to me, and I went through it, and I got through reasonably well. But I like those challenges, man. It's like, whether it be that or Treasure Island or anything like that. Probably Treasure Island was probably more suited to me.
That's right. You've done some cool stuff. Because obviously we just connected not too long ago, and then I was just doing some stuff. I was like, man, that's right. How was the Treasure Island thing?
Awesome, man. 21 days on an island.
Carnage.
Bit of carnage. Not a lot of food. Actually, I did lose a lot of weight on the actual show. But it was awesome, man. On the show, Wendell Sailor, Rebecca Lewis, Miss New Zealand, Michael Murphy, Idol winner, Glenn Osborne, who's now a police officer down in Wanganui. Yeah, I did. He is the absolute man. So it was good to sort of get to know them off the screen and live with them and struggle with them and it's a long time away from your family and friends, man. 21 days, and I think my wife was pregnant at the time. Yeah. So nothing like leaving to an island. What that's like a wife that needs you. It's like going through those hard times and you're not there. Sorry, babe.
First question through Timothy Lavilua. What are your top 3 favourite books and why?
Wow, geez.
Top 3 favourite books. Good question, Timothy.
It is a good question. I'm just sort of read autobiographies more than anything.
Really?
I haven't been a strong reader in life, and now with kids I'm trying to tell them to do a lot of reading because it is huge. I like Mark Hunt's book because it's so open and it is so honest.
What's that called?
This stuff, I'm not too sure what it's called again, but it's just come out sort of the last couple of years. But what he went through in terms of an
I heard it's crazy, because
it's just mental. It is honestly mental.
Born to fight, here you go.
Born to fight. Like he was actually struggling at times. They'd come home and he'd be wondering if the kids were actually going to get fed. And then you get Mormons come around on a mission and these kids haven't been fed. Him and his siblings haven't been fed for multiple days, and yet they watch these Mormons come and they're going to chat and preach. They get all this food in front of them. And and there's a lot more worse content in there that you're going to hear. Where did he grow up? I don't want to even mention.
Where did he grow up?
South Auckland boy.
Oh yeah, as well.
South Auckland boy, but geez, hard, very hard. And the fact that he still bought his parents a house after all that they put him through, is amazing. Because they put him through a lot, man, and a lot more than anyone can ever imagine or have resilience to come through. And I
feel like his brand for what he's actually done for New Zealand stuff isn't as like big at his embrace for how much he's actually done. Like he's unbelievable, right?
He's done a lot, man. But he's one of those people who don't really care about what you think of him.
Yeah.
He doesn't do it because he wants to have good PR. He doesn't do it because he wants to have a knighthood. He does it because he wants to do it, and if you don't like it,
stuff it.
Tough shit. And he will actually go into full detail about
really?
In his book about how he had mafia, Chinese mafia, and that trying to cross him, and he's telling them to their face, no, that's not how you do it, but with more colourful language.
Yeah, I'm sure the books. Yeah. So okay, that's book number 1. Book number 2.
What's Richard McCaw? I like that. I like.
What's his one called?
Once again. Maybe it's too many knocks to hear from rugby league or boxing. Yeah. But I like to sort of read about this guy and what made him tick because he's such a special person. I mean, through rugby league, through sport, everything I've done, I've always, when I've asked about a particular person and where they stand in people's eyes or in their terms of measurement, I normally find 1 or 2 who doesn't really put them on a pedestal. But with this guy, I have not found anyone that's got a bad word to say about him. He is absolutely a freak. Don't forget he's got a pilot's license, commercial license, he's got his helicopter's license.
I heard a story he popped up.
He's a perfect guy, right?
When the vineyards or something were getting some freeze over down south, he out of the blue turned up in his helicopter to help put it out, and everyone's like, just Richie turns up in a helicopter. And like, this is while he was like in the off season or whatever, and he just rocked up. It was nuts.
Absolute freak, man.
Last book?
Last book?
So Mark Hunt, Richard McCaw. I sense a theme here.
Yeah, well, it's just me and what's cool. I can't really remember one off the top right now, but that's me. I don't do a lot of reading. I know that's bad, but I'm getting better at it. And my way of trying to read or do more reading is through the athletes, some that I've met, some that I haven't met, that I'd like to meet. So those are 2 books now that just sort of stood out for me.
Justin Smith, sup Justin, good dude.
Hey Justin.
Would you rather jump in the ring with Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather?
If it's a boxing ring, Conor McGregor anytime. But if it's the cage, I think I'd rather have Mayweather.
Can we talk about that? Do you think? Let's talk about this because obviously you understand this landscape probably better than most.
I think I do.
Yeah, definitely. Does he actually have a shot at all?
I've got a bet with a dentist of mine. And this dentist,
with a dentist?
He is adamant that he's going to shock the world. And I'll put my house on it that I don't think he's going to shock the world. I think Mayweather's going to win this. He's going to win this comfortably. He's getting...
He's defensive, because I was doing a bit of giggling.
He's a defensive colossus, mate. He's a genius, defensive genius. Now, the thing with MMA and that, they normally only throw one phase at a time.
Yeah.
Because if McGregor hits you with one phase with the 4-ounce gloves on, you normally go down. So you're not used to putting multiple phases together,
is it 12,
right? 4-ounce gloves for them.
Yeah.
The boxing gloves are 10-ounce gloves.
10s. But this fight's in 12 ounces, though, is it?
I thought it would have been 10.
Okay, we'll find out. Anyway,
we'll find out. But in saying that, like MMA fighters, if you stand and they collect on with the first phase, normally you're down, you go to ground, you pound, you do anything else. So he's not used to throwing multiple phases. Now, you get guys that are 5-time world champions that went in there, Canelo, Marquez, all these guys, even Pacquiao, they could not unpick the lock. He's a defensive genius. If these guys can't do it, who are well-trained boxers, multiple world champions, can't do it, who are used to that sort of time frame of 3 minutes over 12 rounds, this guy's not going to be able to do it.
It's just, but the thing, that's what Dana was saying, if he just gets one, it could be game over.
He may get one, but he won't even get one. I mean, if you think about Mayweather,
the speed of his,
he is so cautious. He's going to be very cautious early on because he's going to realise in that first round, once he feels the power of McGregor, he'll have an understanding. And McGregor may a little bit be a bit offbeat or a bit sort of unorthodox, but it's nothing that he's.
But his movements, his movements are just funky. So your money's on Mayweather.
I'd seriously put my house on it.
Actually,
yeah, I would. I mean, I'd put my house on it. If there was a bet, anyone out there who want to take me up on a bet, that's cool, man. There we go. I've got.
Okay, G's in the mix.
G's in the mix.
What's your bet, G?
10-ounce gloves confirmed for the fight.
Yeah, 10-ounce gloves.
So 10-ounce gloves.
My problem is McGregor's staying power. So going with Mayweather's defensive prowess as a boxer and knowing how to time out 12 rounds, as he's done previously, McGregor will probably come out like a true Irishman, the same as like doing the rugby and fire up.
So you
first few rounds, it's just my problem is McGregor's staying with it.
All right. So if you didn't hear that, McGregor's staying with it. He doesn't know if he can do it.
Yeah,
all right. Because
the problem with McGregor staying with it and trying to apply so much relentless pressure is that he will leave an opening. He will leave an opening that's something that he's not used to, that Mayweather will jump on.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be one of the most boring fights in history. After the first 2 rounds.
You're just going to like all this money for this shit?
I'm going to buy it, man.
Was it $1 billion fight? It wasn't because
they get 100 million each.
But that's without the pay-per-view. That's without the.
That's probably going to be on top of that.
My actual bet is a draw.
No way I'll be a draw.
So you think a draw?
I think a draw.
So Graham, who's just chirping in the cheap seats.
So what are we betting with here? Another lunch or?
Yeah. There you go, done. We've got G who's out of the stage. He's going to be in against Monty.
Because it's a saga, so they want another fight for
Yeah.
I mean, but
he's not going to draw. He's got the biggest ego in the world. He's not going to draw when he's going for a record
50
which is 50 and 0.
And that's
no way he's going to draw.
And to go out, so he goes because he had Pacquiao at 49-0, and then he gets the biggest fight arguably of all time,
which is going to be the easiest fight.
With the easiest fight of all time, but weirdly enough, will get paid probably more than the Pacquiao fight, right?
Yeah, I think he may struggle to get more than that because he made close to 400 million.
Oh, because he was the A side.
It was ridiculous. But good on them. They both deserve the money because they've got a huge following. For McGregor, obviously. Some people want to see him get knocked out. Some people want to see him do well. Conor McGregor's there because they absolutely love the man. He's done wonderful things for Ireland, and he's such a cool cat.
He seems like this just came out just then, which is Floyd Mayweather trying some boxing. Oh, it's not playing. Anyway, Justin Marshall, second question. What is the appeal of boxing to you, and at what stage during or after your NRL career did you fully commit to it as your next step? It's a good question. So you obviously had
Yeah. Is that just the Marshall Judd?
Judd? No, different Justin.
Judd? Okay. No, different Judd. Judd from Parnell up here. Our kids go to the same school, St Michael's. Look, I went over to England to play rugby league, and I thought that's what I wanted to do, only because I was getting a bit of flack here at the Warriors.
Yeah.
I grew up at this club. It was a scholarship. I had plenty of injuries.
What year did you start with the Warriors?
I signed a scholarship at 15 in 93.
Because when did they? Was it the
95,
year? 95.
So 93
sorry.
was going to 95 squad. I started playing with them under 19s. Captain in that, we made the grand final, but it was pretty much full time since '97. I left there in I left there in 2005. After 2005, I had a year to run on my contract, but I thought, no, look, it's time to go. But I went to England and played over there for a year and decided, look, I didn't really want to play for another side other than the Warriors. That's what I love to do. I was homesick, and I thought, man, I'm going to come home. And I was over there and I was sparring a local pro. And
just for fun?
Just for fun. He goes, oh yeah, my mate got me in trouble and said, look, yeah, this morning, he goes, all right, this pro had a local fight coming up in a couple of weeks, and he goes, yeah, Monty will come down and spar you, David Solomona. And then I found myself in a local gym in Wakefield sparring a middleweight, and then his guy wanted me to turn pro there, and then he said he'll take me to where I need to be, and I said, whoa, this is too much.
You've already had a career, I
hadn't even finished playing for the Wakefield Wildcats, and then I did like boxing, and I never really did much of it. I had a karate background growing up, which was totally different to boxing, and then I decided to come home and tell a pregnant wife that I was going to go back to play Super League the following year. Yeah, and that was hard, man.
How'd that go?
Not very well. So when I was on Treasure Island that time,
you go Treasure Island and then you.
I was on Treasure Island thinking, how am I going to use these 21 days to think about how I'm going to tell my wife that I don't want to go back. I don't want to get all those pounds, which was 3 times table then. When you transfer it back to
you're right. Yeah. Because what year would that would have been?
That would have been 2006.
Yeah.
I said I played over there in 2006. Then 2007 I came home, and I decided to get into boxing.
Classic. And what was her initial? As if your body hadn't taken enough.
I repeat it on here, which is.
But basically, your body's already gone through enough. From the age of 15, you're in the squad. Yeah. So you've just been brutally hammered, and then you pop out of that, and you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm going to go box.
Yeah. We've got a pregnant hormonal lady who loves me. Has been with me since school, saying, because you're on the biggest contract of your life over there in England, and you're saying no to just to boxing, and we had no guarantees with boxing either. But, you do what you want to do sometimes, and that's what I wanted to do.
Was it an easy jump for you to go in? Like, what did it feel like? It was a mental shift, or was it just like, were your headspace around sport for league just transferred over, and it was just like, it's just a bigger extension of training off
Part of it did, because I used to play league, and I used to be captain, and think, why do I always have to get you guys up for a game when you're playing a game you love, and you should be motivated
themselves.
And then I thought, that's the great thing, because I never had a problem getting up or getting motivated for anything. So
you go on team
now, say goodbye to the team. I'm going to do it as an individual,
and then you can control the outcome.
Yeah, I can control the outcome.
Did it feel more empowering to go from the headset of not needing team to then go to you, so you could go 100 and 200% onto yourself?
200%, but at the same time you're a little bit scared.
And then you're lonely.
Because you're very lonely, because it's only you that has to go through it. I mean, if you have a bad day on the league field, if you go into the match not quite 100%, or if you're a little bit sick, you're underdone, someone may be able to bring you through, because you've got that team aspect. But as a boxer or as a fighter, when you're in there by yourself, so full credit to Joseph Parker, to David Tua, to all these boxers and fighters, Mark Hunt. If they're having a bad day, man,
it's on them.
So what? Who cares? You just got to get out there and you've got to deliver the goods. Otherwise, you don't get paid, or it ruins your career path where you want to go.
But you felt empowered to then go solo for a bit?
But a sense of empowerment, but also, why not have a go? Just tick the box, and because my dad was actually a really good fighter. He was legit. He was a Commonwealth title holder. He was in the top 10 in middleweights at one stage.
Really?
He was in camp with Muhammad Ali.
Bullshit.
Over in America. Angelo Dundee took him over there in Miami. I was almost born there. So we always had that affiliation with Monty Senior and Monty Junior. But my mum never wanted me to box because of what she went through with her dad. So I went karate, I went the other way.
And then she would have talked to your wifey, so it made the hatchet even harder.
So in a way, I was sort of like, I was also doing this with Dad, because Dad had articles when I used to read a scrapbook and say, I love my son to follow in my footsteps and something else. So when I won that New Zealand title, my last fight, it was awesome, because it was sort of saying, Dad, this one's for you as well, something that you dreamt of many years ago.
Guy Rickard, sup guyso? Treasure Island or Survivor? Bonus question, if watching New Zealand Survivor, is Mike a bit of a princess?
Mike a bit of a princess? Man, I do watch Survivor. I love it because it takes me back to some of the times that I was on the show. I love everything about it. Mike, a bit of a princess. He's on Redemption Island at the moment, isn't he? I like Tom. There was a thing that came up lately about the people's vote and who you vote for.
Okay.
And I've been voting for Tom because he's sort of got his way out of a few tricky situations.
Is this New Zealand's Treasure Island?
Yeah, and you meant to be out of there. And he's also won about 4 immunity challenges in a row, so he deserves to be there, and he deserves to be there. I believe the people's vote at the moment.
All right.
So rather than bagging Mike, I'll go ups to Tom.
Paul Ellis, yes, he's back.
Yes,
Paul Ellis. Oh, so he was trolling me like a couple of things ago. I was like, bro,
I saw that.
Yeah, he was the man.
Yeah, Paul.
And he was trolling me. I was like, bro, we need to catch up for a beer. Literally, like, hit me up. I was like, yo, this is my number. Let's go. Went down, had a few beers. Flipping legend.
Yeah,
and we just like had a few, and he was just an absolute champ.
Yeah, he is.
Here's a question: is the UK more bona fide these days for a boxing career rather than the USA? That's interesting.
I think it's evident that it's hugely so, and it's to the point. I think everyone knows that, and you're on the money there, Paul, because that's where the shift of power is. It's all over in the UK, but it's not just the heavyweight career. It's even through the lighter weights, man.
And so I mean, Anthony Joshua's fight, Wembley Stadium, 90,000 tickets.
Epic.
Insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. And then because the next one with Joe Parker's with Fury in September.
I think 23rd or 24th in September against Fury. Over there, Huey Fury, the cousin of Tyson Fury.
So you think basically UK is better at the moment?
Oh, it is. That's the place where everyone wants to be, and they're really loving their boxing. They've got a lot of world champions there now. The shift of world dominance in boxing over in America is over there, because I think I was watching a documentary on Netflix the other day too, where they're saying less and less Americans as amateurs are competing as amateurs because they want to go make that money straight away. They want to get out of the hood. They want to try and get to that financial freedom. So they miss out on the pedigree of going through the amateurs. So you're not bringing on the boxers, because that's a big part of becoming an established professional too, is if you can go through that and have that grounding and have, and especially marketing value, but winning a gold at the games and then you go straight into boxing, it does help your
So do you think just pathways?
Yeah, pathways help with anything, right?
Yeah.
But the pathways there are huge because they had a whole heap of Olympians that crossed over in the Hearns camp, and they're just absolutely dominating now. They're all professionals.
Chris says, how different was the mental preparation for a boxing bout compared to, say, a league test? Good question, Chris. So the mental preparation coming into it, how did you... what was the sort of differential?
I think the mental preparation or stress is probably a little bit more on a boxing match, because it's at the end of the day it's you and it's all about you. So sometimes there's a mind games being played within it. I played league at the top level. I didn't box at the top level. I won a New Zealand title. But I still...
I would say that's actually kind of the top level.
Yeah. It's domestic level, right? So, but in saying that, a league player, you love what you do, you're good at what you do, so you have that sense that you feel confident that you can withstand anything that comes up to it. I used to always tell the league boys about preparation, and just jot it down. If you're playing well, you played well on the weekend, you should jot down what you did throughout that week, so that all you do is replicate that and you do it again and again and again. And I'm big on, if you don't prepare to fail. Fail to prepare to fail. And that's all the way leading up to it. The right amount of sleep, the right fuel, the right sort of mindset, the right sort of processes in place to implement on the game day as well.
Were you more strict on yourself leading up to a boxing fight or a league match?
Definitely boxing, because I was an older boxer. I got back into sport after being retired from rugby league. Even though I retired from rugby league about 27, I was early in the piece, and I think the older sort of athletes that are around now, they appreciate it a bit more, and they realise what they've got, their second chance at it, or they realise that their window of opportunity is closing, so they really do make the most of it.
Was it harder in boxing? Because say to mentally prepare to Chris's question is, each time in league you'll play every week. So you'll obviously play on the weekend. Reset maybe Monday, boom, 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 and you build up, and so you've got a short build up compared to, I'm imagining boxing could be months out, right? You're 3 months out thinking about this one thing, this one moment,
in
this one
thing. In that
thing.
respect, it is a lot harder at rugby league, because I tell a lot of people the only time that you're ever completely injury free as a professional rugby league player is before the first whistle's blown, before you play your first competition game. Because after that, sometimes you may not train for the first part of the week and you're carrying a lot of niggles and injuries, but then you take the field. And then you accumulate all these bumps and bruises for the next week or the following week. So the best players who have got longevity, they've really got that down packed in terms of how they recover, how they look after themselves, and then being able to go out there and do it again. Sometimes it's genetics as well, unfortunately or fortunately. But that can be hard. I mean, for example, you had Origin the other week, and in 48 hours you're playing against the Warriors. That's tough, man. Regardless of whether you're in a team dynamic or team environment or just as an individual. Very tough indeed.
Chris also says, what was the boxing doco on Netflix called?
Oh, mate.
Counterpunch. Counterpunch,
yep.
all right. Minnick Gibson. Mon's here.
Hey, Mon.
Hey, Mon.
What a trip you had.
Yeah. Yep. Matthew Hardy's here. Tim Evans. Sean Ussey from Aranui. Sup. Dave Mason's here. There's quite a few people. Very cool.
Oh, good.
Oh,
don't worry about that, man.
All right. I won't answer it. What else do you want to talk about? So you got Treasure Island done, Mayweather done, Dancing with the Stars done. Actually, I wanted to see this.
Here we go.
Villasanti. And he's lost it. Well, that's sad for the Warriors.
Do you know what's coming?
Okay. You straight away as soon as you put it on.
Lashing out at the dogs. I'm not sure who it is, but he fired up big time.
Naughty.
Well, he either had a brain explosion.
That was the first video. So what happened there? Was there something?
There you go. Thank you, Tony Edel. It was weird because my role within the team was, especially after
it feels like I'm kind of stitching you up. It's like, hey, come on here, I'm going to show you a bunch of shit on YouTube.
I mean, some people can score tries, some people can do all the fancy stuff, and some people are just the engine room or the person that sort of is the heart a bit more. Sometimes it got really hard to get the fine balance between the aggressor or the not aggressor, the
instigator.
Well, no, not instigator. The enforcer.
Enforcer, sorry.
Enforcer.
It's like hockey.
Fine line between the enforcer and just playing the game right. But back then it was fine. That particular moment was I put him on the ground and he had a little swipe up at me. It wasn't much at all. And I saw him not so long ago, Steve Reed, and he's a really good dude. And
but that day,
he just got me at the wrong time, and then it's just all hell.
And then
loose.
I don't know what this is, but I actually wanted to see this as well, which was. Some of your highlights. Dude, we're in 4x3. Do you know what this is? Have you seen this?
Yeah, I have seen this a little bit.
Do you do something awesome?
No. Well, that's probably awesome for me. Because like I said, I was never the most talented person. So it's probably as awesome as it got. But, man, it was some good years.
Oh!
It was some good years being amongst that Warriors team, 2001, 2003.
Was that, so what year was this one?
I'm not sure which one that was. I just scored a try.
Oh, mate, look at that. Solid.
I recognise me with the hair, eh?
Well, yeah, no, I was getting it. And so what else have you been up to now? I want to talk about your foundation.
Oh, yeah.
So you're doing lots of very cool stuff.
Yeah, you're trying to, because, we really care about it. When I got back, I was surfing the net one morning and I was having breakfast and there was some stats that came up, and I'm a really proud Kiwi, very patriotic, and normally I love it when Kiwis rate on the world stage in terms of where you rank, but this time it wasn't good. We were third in the OECD for obesity, and in particular youth, kids, and I thought straight away, man, I've got to do something about this, and I got on the phone to my sister and said, look, I found my calling. Blah, 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 and I hung up. And I had to ring her back and tell her what my calling was, and that's fighting youth obesity in particular. Because me, as a kid growing up, I was sort of on my way to obesity, and I think about my parents put me in karate, which helped me out and changed my mindset and got me nice and fit. And then I think, well, if I went the other way and I stayed or became obese, then I would have missed out on so many epic adventures and memories that I've got going around the world and networks and relationships. So I thought I want to help these kids because at that time I was doing a bit of personal training and I also helped a couple of guys in rugby league. I mean, remember one day a kid came into the change room and he was crying, and I said, "What's wrong, man? What's wrong?" And he goes, "The coach is sending me to live in Australia because I'm too big. I can't, and I won't lose the weight." I said, "No, it's cool." So I spoke to the coach, and he said, in short, look, if you want to do something about it, you do it. He's living with you. You show me. I've had enough with him. It's up to you. Otherwise, he's out. He's moving across to Australia. And it was Fika Paliasina. He was damaging runner. He was epic. And then so I moved out my flatmate, moved him into my house, changed his diet, helped him with everything. Yeah. I think he lost about 10, 15 kilos. But we lost him at the end of that year anyway, because Wigan came with this huge offer to get him over there and to play overseas.
He probably owes you help with the contract.
But I mean, like I've always had that way to sort of help people, and I realise the importance of it. My dad tried to say, healthy body, healthy mind. You look good, you feel good, you do good, and I believe that. So I want to do the same thing for the kids out there now, because man, it's hard being a kid growing up without all the added problems that come with obesity, right, and all the spin-offs. Man, kids are cruel out there. To our kids, to the future of New Zealand.
Do you think it's got worse with kids? Better communication, which has made it worse for...
You reckon they communicate well? I think kids struggle with communication because all they do now is jump on tablets. They jump on
it's their form,
computers.
Their new form,
that's how they communicate. So if you sit down and you be in a situation where you actually got to talk, or you got to...
People avoid human interaction a lot more, it seems.
They can't do it, or negotiate. I mean, I'd get my kids and go, "Why don't you negotiate this? Why don't you negotiate? What's happening?" They want everything so instant. And I was at my home one time, and the boys came over, and I said, "Look, no more iPads, everything, just go out." And they were building some stuff around the front of my house, and it was awesome to hear them sort of say, "No, don't try that. What about this? Let's try this." Yeah. And that's how we all grew up.
Yeah, totally.
We were doing that, we're trial and error and putting your ideas through, and then coming to an agreement on stuff, negotiation, everything. And we don't do that enough, I think, as kids growing up, and that's a real problem.
And so, what is how does the foundation operate? Like, what do you do? How does it work?
We've got a 12-week program, holistic in our approach. Nutrition, exercise, psychological aspects, and obviously the family buy-in and engagement, because that's huge. You can't have a kid go home and tell mum, "No, don't buy that," because that's not good enough, or "Don't do that, I want to do this." So we try. What's
and get the buy-in?
Stepsforlife.co.nz. Right. So we've been going since 2009. 12-week program where they train twice a week, and then on the weekend they have workshops put together to help them, which is goal setting, supermarket tours, everything from you name it, just all the tools that you get armed with. And they've got a very thick manual and book that they fill out, which we call the Bible. Yep. And in time you can always refer back to that. We have ongoing support if they need that, and we catch up every now and again.
What do they go it's just when you said supermarket tours.
Yeah, supermarket tours.
Is that to define like what's good, what's bad?
Yeah, what's good, what's bad.
Kind of just like education.
What are the traps? What should you be looking for?
What's the biggest trap that kids don't know about food?
Look, to be honest,
sugar?
A lot of parents don't know. Yeah. look at the marketing that's out there. When you're getting Iron Men selling Nutrigrain. I had some boys.
Is that bad?
Nutrigrain, it was like 30-40% sugar. At one stage, you've changed the recipe, so it's not as bad now. But I had parents buy boxes and boxes of it because they thought that was going to be great. They thought it was going to be good. Iron Man, and you get kids buying bucket loads of Powerade because of the All Blacks. I had a couple of kids at Boxing Alley working out, and he worked pretty hard, and they were big kids, and I watched from afar. Then they went running across the road, and they bought a Powerade, and everything they did within that session didn't even help them, didn't even benefit them, because they
went and education piece.
They went and put 18 teaspoons of sugar. Yeah, so it's education, it's understanding what's bad for you, what's good for you, and the alternatives to it, and how to implement it in your life and what you're doing. So that's why we think we're pretty holistic in our approach. We take them, they learn how to cook certain meals that they like in a different way, like chop suey, like other little bits and pieces which make it just as tasty, maybe a bit tastier, but better for you. Yeah. It's really good. Been really happy with it, and
that's cool, man.
Been doing over a long time.
Brad Prosser asks, are you more looking forward to Canelo versus GGG or Floyd versus Conor? Floyd versus Conor.
I think Canelo versus GGG, Triple G will be the one, man. I think that's going to be pretty epic, but that's the thing, we saw Canelo, how great he was going into the Mayweather match, and we thought, wow, man, this is going to be a huge fight, but it was a non-event once again, because the genius that is Mayweather is sometimes boring and takes away from the spirit of pugilism, but
But smart and gets paid,
man. He gets paid.
Josephine Taylor, what other talents do you have, Monty, other than boxing, NRL, and helping others? Josephine Taylor?
Do I have talents?
Draw, singing.
Unfortunately, I don't have any talents like that. I'm very envious of people that can sing.
Me too.
I love
live music.
I love good voices.
Yeah.
Man. And it's just.
Can you play guitar?
You can. No, I'm not that way. I'm not gifted that way. Man.
Yeah, no, neither.
I like to have a dance after.
Clearly.
Well, not that sort of dance.
No. Have you ever thrown down a foxtrot?
Never again. But that's the thing, I used to run to the because I think every dance was about a minute 60 or something like that. So
yeah.
I'd run through and we'd do sort of steps to find out on the calendar in the minute duration. Okay, we've only got another 30 seconds to go, 50 seconds to go, and work it out. But I mean, you don't actually learn any of the basics of the dance. You just
learn
routines,
thing.
man.
Yeah.
And then it's just, yeah.
So, what other skills? Into any other?
I don't have
stuff?
any other skills. I'm not a very talented person.
That's arguable, considering I
will say I'm good with people. I can bring the best out of people, and I'm thinking about getting into a bit of sports psychology stuff, because
interesting.
Because what I did, that's what I did as captain, going up from under 15s all the way through. I was always the captain and the leader, and I was probably more hell bent on getting the best out of them than always getting the best out of myself, and I always put myself second. So it'd be interesting to sort of see what the textbooks say to what I say, and how you can marry them a little bit, or
sometimes
work with it,
what would be interesting is if you went deep down that rabbit hole, you might find out that you actually just self-validate what you'd already done organically and naturally without help.
Definitely.
And then it's just like, shit, so I was right, but then,
sure.
I get
it. Who knows, one day I might go back and actually help the Warriors through that. They might actually win a premiership with Monty as a sports site.
There you go.
Boom.
Plug. Justin, as someone from an impoverished area of Auckland, do you ever feel judged by your home community for having broken the stereotype and moved onwards and upwards?
Yeah, look,
interesting.
I never feel judged. Because I suppose because I'm probably not often enough, but still enough to sort of be accepted that I'm in the community with them, doing stuff and helping everyone else. So if I do feel judged, it's not in a bad way, because I'm out in the schools doing stuff for the kids and in the community, helping out where I can. You're still
it's probably
always good judgment. Or
if you weren't doing stuff back in the community or didn't have the foundation, would you feel judged that you up and bailed on them?
Yeah, I guess if you're sort of in that situation, but not. How would you know though? How would you know that you're being judged that way?
It's just a thing of like, sell out, bailed off.
This guy. Well, I haven't moved far from home. I grew up in Mangere Bridge, and I'm just in Wantry Hill at Onehunga, Oranga, if you want to say that. It's that's me, man. I'm that boy from that area.
Natalie, is he taking you as his date to King of the Ring tonight? No, maybe.
Actually, he's done a bit of work on TV. I'm hearing.
What?
I read the Winter Olympics. Is that right?
Oh,
Winter Olympics.
That was
talk about
a previous life. Actually, speaking of talents, Monique's jumped back in. You forgot that you're an awesome MC and TV host.
Oh,
classic, Mon.
Monique, always got my back, Mon.
If anyone's got any other last questions, get them in now before we bail off, and we're going to go grab a feed. What else is going on? What's getting you stoked at the moment?
Yeah, look, I'm just excited about going to that pack that
You've got
weekend.
a good
then
weekend
I'm going to go
ahead.
away skiing after that. Talk about being judged, and it's not like that way at all. I'm going down, take the family away. They've been learning how to ski since 3. I'm trying to get better on the snowboard.
Nice.
So I bought one before the Olympics, but I never got to use it because I didn't want to get injured.
What type of board did you get?
I don't know, but it's a board that suits me, because when I went and hired a board, if it was a little bit too big, I'd fall over. If it was a little bit smaller than that, I'd fall over. So it had to be perfectly in between the two. So I've got it now. I don't know the measurements or the boards.
I can help you with that.
The brands. I know you can.
The good thing is you're on the snowboard. That's the start. You're already winning after you start on a snowboard instead of skis.
I'm doing something right.
Yeah, you start. And so what you got? So King of the Ring tonight.
King of the Ring tonight.
Pacquiao
tomorrow to the Pacquiao
fight, and then you're going skiing next week.
And then on Wednesday, I'm taking a bit of time off to go away with the family. Yeah.
To make up for the Treasure Island when you left the pregnant wife, and for going into boxing after wife you don't want you to.
I've got so many things to make up for. My poor wife, happy life, right?
Preach. I think we're good. There's a bunch of this other stuff, but anyway. Yeah. Any other life stuff you want to say? This has been good. I've actually really enjoyed this.
I was a little bit worried. That first of all he'd stitch me up, and you sort of semi-stitched me up.
I literally just typed it in and I just clicked the first 2 things. And I was like...
You pulled back a bit, which was good.
There was some good stuff.
I was wondering if anyone's going to be on the other side of that.
Yes, there has been.
There's a few. Good on you, Mon. We can always count on you.
Yes, always count on Mon. And Paul Ellis.
Yes,
the secret troll. He wants to be there. Paul, one day you'll get there. No, awesome.
There's one good comment there.
What's the one good comment? Oh, have we got a new one? Oh, from Justin? Okay, so read it out. I can't see it.
It's got the same last name as me.
Oh,
is there a Betham in there?
I don't have it. What does it say?
Milk and cookies, Dad, here. I'm obsessed with boxing alley open to old farts.
And so if you missed it, is boxing alley open to old farts? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's open to
everyone. Everyone can go.
Yes.
All right. Nick from behind the camera, could you please shut us down? See you guys. Appreciate it. We'll have to get some lunch. Ciao, buddy.
That's a break.
Mean.